Film? Yeah. Good. It's always good. Huh?
Well, for the whole movie, probably
It's
that's
all
right.
Isn't it possible to see the liberation thing in a neurologics way?
To see the. Is it possible to see
To
the?
see the liberation thing.
No.
Well,
you can't see it because it is all there is. You're already looking at it.
No, in a neurological thing.
A neurological sense.
Yes.
Only I think neurologically, I'm not too. I don't know that much about this. So I've read quite a lot about brain, sort of the recent brain discoveries that have been made, and there certainly is a function in the brain which seems to artificially create an identity for its own protection.
It's a pattern of synaptic codes.
And that comes and goes. It's an inconstant state. But neurologically, I think that's a bit of a different thing. Neurologically is not only a brain function, is it? Neurology is the whole nervous system. So, but the source of the separation is the function of the artificial identity, and all the time that's there, then it's possible. I don't know enough about it. That there is a sort of tension about being an individual. It's a tense thing. It comes and goes, that level of tension. So when that suddenly collapses, that tension collapses with it. So there's a relaxation, which may affect the neurology of the body. I don't know. And anyway, it doesn't matter.
I think it's possible to change the synaptic code.
Do you?
I think.
I don't know. What, with an operation? So everybody could have brain cells and become living?
No, there are methods to do this.
There are methods from
To
what
change the synaptic.
I mean, the brain is a bundle, isn't it? It's a bundle. It isn't one thing. It's a bundle. It's an amazing, miraculous bundle of different responses and reactions to the manifestation. One of the things that brain surgeons have discovered is that one of the things it's capable of doing is creating an artificial identity, which then becomes a sort of monster, because the artificial identity believes it's real and thinks it's running the show. Now, whether something can be done with the brain to cease that function, I don't know. I'm not interested in it. It'd be lovely if you could. It's cheap to come here, I would have thought. Did somebody want to ask?
Some years ago, I made quite a lot of experience with psychedelic drugs.
About?
Psychedelic drugs.
Oh, right.
Yes. And I think these drugs have that function because there were experiences similar to awakening.
Now hold on a minute, let's be careful about it. Awakening is not an experience.
Yeah, okay.
When you take drugs, you personally experience what it seems to you freedom is like, or being in another manifestation is like. But that's all a personal experience. It's
Yes.
a heightened personal experience. It has no relevance to liberation at all.
No, not liberation.
No. Or even well, awakening is a mini liberation, really. Awakening, as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
which is what's called satori or glimpse.
When you see there's no.
Well, you don't. There is no one, but there is
Yeah.
just boundlessness.
Yes.
I mean, you come back.
Yeah.
So you're not there when that happens.
Uh-huh.
But when the drugs are taken, you're there experiencing something.
Okay.
That's my sense of it.
Uh-huh. Did you?
No, the only thing I've ever tried was ecstasy.
Uh-huh.
It was boring. I mean, it doesn't matter, because the thing about taking LSD is that, you can take it and it is extraordinary. Liberation is not extraordinary.
Yes.
In that way.
Yeah. That's a danger of the drug, because you think that's the one, and so afterwards you're depressed.
Yeah, it's like everything else that comes and goes, and it's almost surreal.
Tony, for many years I was sidetracked because of spiritual experiences. And I know it's not an experience, liberation, but what is the use then of that kind of experiences like this?
None at all.
None.
All it does is keep you on the wheel.
Because you think you're one with everything.
Yeah.
Because the experience is like being one with everything.
But yes, so liberation isn't like being one with everything.
It's not.
No.
Well, wholeness then, I mean, like an experience of wholeness.
No, there isn't any experience.
No. So there's no use whatsoever.
All spiritual effort is just like anything else in the wheel. It's just a way of keeping moving. It just comforts you.
Indeed. But you also speak in your booklet, The Open Secret, about, coming home and experience bliss.
No, I don't.
You don't?
You find it and let me know. You won't find it in there. Not you coming home and experiencing being at home.
I know. It's a language thing. There's no one who is experienced something, but
even though the open secret in some ways is a bit confusing, it never says that there is someone who can come home or experiencing being at home. That's the one thing it doesn't say.
You speak of the beloved.
Wow, that's the sexy. I'm a bit Yeah, it's just the characteristic.
You probably changed it now.
No, I still use the beloved.
Is that right?
All I'm the beloved, it's okay.
Tony? Yesterday you said in one moment that the mind or the ego cannot approach this, but there is somewhere or something that is like a sense or a sensation that we get, that the person can get, or a call, an inner call, or there is a part there somewhere inside that will lead you or will do something.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Just bloody amazing. People say I say all sorts of things.
That's what I understood.
Well, there is another
there
meeting
is
or something.
something.
We used another meeting yesterday.
It was possible.
No, the dreamer, the dream seeker is in a wheel. And there's no possibility that the dream seeker can get or know boundlessness, because it's confined in a contractile wheel which is going around in movement. And it's like looking for something which isn't moving. It doesn't mean it's still, but it isn't in that circle. And there isn't, and that's the beginning and end of it. Until that function suddenly ceases, then that function will go on moving, looking for something that it thinks it's lost. And that function suddenly ceases to be there. There is only that, but there is nothing there that has that. There is just that boundlessness.
How could I hear that? That there is something like a flavor or a sense that There's something like that.
Well, everything that's happening to you, to that,
Yeah.
is what that is looking for. Everything right now that's happening to that is what that is looking for. But the problem, the difficulty with the seeker is that in some way or other, it can't see that because it knows that. It knows what's happening. The seeker knows what's happening. It lives in a world of knowing that it's sitting on a seat, for instance, and da da da. It's aware of sitting on a seat. It knows it's sitting. And by knowing that it's sitting on a seat, it keeps that which it longs for at distance. By knowing that it's sitting on a seat, it keeps that which it longs for apart. That which you long for hides from you by already being. Isn't that wonderful?
If I could grasp it, yeah.
But that's the problem, you're coming to grasp it.
Tony? Here I am. We are talking about the unspeakable, correct? Sometimes you say there's more, it's more about an energetic shift. So, energetic, what does that mean?
Well, you can talk about this forever, you know, and even come to some sort of comprehension or understanding about this. A high level of comprehension can arise in a conceptual way about this, the unspeakable. But essentially, really, the whole of manifestation is simply energy. It's simply energy. This is energy. And what happens when the separate energy apparently arises is that the separate energy is a sort of contraction. It's a sort of an enclosure into this body. It's uniquely human. There's nothing else in this manifestation which can abstract the sense of being separate. Even animals, whatever, don't have that capacity. So everything else is simply beingness. Everything else in the world, blades of grass, dolphins, trees, walls, marmalade, are boundless. There's just boundlessness. Especially marmalade. We won't talk about that now. We'll talk together later about marmalade. It's a very secret. No, but it's just boundless. There is just boundless, and there's this contracted, or this apparent contracted energy which seems to be in that, and looks out and can't know that, or can't be that, because it thinks it knows what that is. It thinks it knows what a tree is, so somehow it's apart, and it's here, and the tree is over there. I am something, you are something else. I am something, this is something else. So essentially, in the end, it's an energy that is contracted, that keeps separation in this circle. And what can apparently happen is that contracted energy can suddenly let go or dissipate into the whole. And that is liberation, not this thing here being clear about something and living in another way or whatever. Just that.
Thank you. Just a little more language questions. You're always talking about liberation. For me, liberation implies a sort of movement from prison to freedom.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be better to talk about just simply freedom?
Yes, it could be. There are all sorts of different words you could use. and none of them are it. None of them are really adequate. Freedom is another word. All there is freedom. And when that which is contracted suddenly dissipates, there's just freedom. Boundlessness. But no word obviously could say this, because if it could say it, then it could be known.